Welcome to It Begins With Us, the podcast about domestic violence abuse. It is our mission to help anyone in a domestic violence situation. We started this podcast
as a safe space for survivors to tell their stories.
Completely confidential.
We can disguise your voice.
You can be off camera, and we're here to listen. Let's get started.
Hi guys, welcome back to It Begins With Us. We are on episode 16.
And we are here with our special guest.
This is Cedo from SPARC.
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks
for being welcome.
Here.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Do you want to start off by telling us a little bit about SPARC?
Yeah, so SPARC is one of 8 assessment centers that opened up in the state of Idaho. We cover all of Region 7, and our mission is to help youth and families not step foot in the juvenile justice or welfare system. And so when we meet with a family that has just gone through a crisis, we just sit down, talk with them, get to hear their story, and then we refer them to a resource within our community that can help them out in that situation. And throughout that time, we just work together with the family on making sure that that resource is the best fit for them and just making sure that we cover all the needs from the family. So we cover all school ages. So we go from 5 all the way to 18. And we also have a after-school teen center program for SIA, Community Youth in Action, where we do 7th grade through 12th grade, and we do pick up at the local school districts for D91 and 93. And we pick your kid up from school, and we give them a snack, and we have a bunch of different enrichment clubs to offer, from STEM, sewing, painting, and as well as we have LGBTQ plus support groups, and as well as a male and female empowerment group. And at the end of the night, we take you right home, and no charge to the family whatsoever.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's very amazing.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is a nonprofit organization?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I wish, this is pretty new, right?
So
For how long has it been going on?
I would say for the assessment center, we've been going for about 3 years now.
Okay. Yeah.
And for the teen center, that has been going on for about 10 years now.
Okay.
So for me, when I met my director, I was in high school. It was during my junior year of high school, and I was always involved in the after-school program. And we just never once lost touch with each other. And so if there was ever a time they needed a chaperone or just an extra hand, I would always make sure to go help them out. And then one day she just asked me if I wanted to make a difference in our community. And I've always wanted to be somebody that could help others out. And so I kind of just didn't really look back and think twice about my decision. I just went right for it. And it's been great. I've been able to meet a lot of people and meet a lot of families and really get to know our community and what's out there and what's our biggest needs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Because I first met you when the ECAP event, and that's where I learned about the teen program.
Yes, and that was so cool. That was very cool to see that was offered in our area.
Right. Yeah. With a lot of our teens, a big thing is that our families are busy and they're looking for something for their kiddos to be able to go out and do something. And with our teen center, our biggest thing is offering a safe place for these teens to come and express themselves and just have fun, because at the end of the day, they are teenagers. And what can we do to let them enjoy their youth, but also give them skills to be able to take this on for once they do graduate from high school? And one of the biggest things that we do at SPARC is we always try to make sure to go and hang out with our teens and build that connection and try to be a mentor to these teens. And some of the times they're just looking for somebody just to listen, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would have been super helpful when I was a teenager growing up. Like, I got put on probation.
Right?
So,
And it's just really showing these kiddos that there's more to this community and there's, other things to do besides getting into trouble. But the big thing about that is, a lot of the times it's either that they're looking for attention, they're looking for somebody to look at them, and big picture is just, what can we do to help these kids out? Because our biggest thing is we don't want them in the juvenile justice system and we don't want them in the foster care. And with us, we work closely with law enforcement as well. And one of the big things that we do is we offer de-escalation for families. And so if an officer were to arrive at a home and the family has just gone through a crisis and they just need somebody to be able to help them out, law enforcement can give us a call as well. And we can either meet the family at their home or they come right to our center. And we just sit down and talk with them and just what can we do to help these families out.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
really, really
I'm like
cool.
getting all these
I know.
flashbacks.
I know from our
Yeah.
young days.
Yeah.
Being naughty.
Yeah, troubled
naughty,
days.
troubled
Troubled
children, you.
days. And, like, I don't know, I grew up in a really abusive household. And so, like, I went straight to that when I, left at 18 years old. And so, to have some resources like this, I think would have helped because I literally just needed to get out. It was just a bad environment.
Yeah.
And instead of, getting the help, the right help that I needed, it was like, no, you're retaliating, so you're running away, so you got to be put on probation, and obviously, like, I never did a thing wrong. I just couldn't stay there. Like, my parents grew up very different, abusive, and
You didn't want to
It
be
was-
there anymore.
yeah, since I was 15 years old, I already was independent. I wanted to work and live on my own. I was like, I can afford it. I can live by myself.
Yeah.
I just need a job
Yeah.
and somebody that would hire me. Like, I never did any drugs. I wasn't getting into other trouble, like having sex or any of those things. I was just literally, I just wanted to get away from the violence at home. So,
We wanted to be grown up. I
Yeah.
think for me, I really wanted to be grown up because I thought that the grown ups had it better and
Yeah.
were more put together, and that all it did, you had to be a grown up to be able to finally get to slow down and enjoy your
Right.
life.
Yeah.
But yeah.
yeah.
And that's a great thing because it's like for a lot of these teens, especially that we get to see, is that's what they see, is that they need to grow up so fast in order to get away from the violence, from the yelling, and then from the dysfunction. And sometimes it's really just like, hey, let's take a moment, let's breathe real quick, let's help
Yeah.
you out and figure this together. And for a lot of the teens where it's, where it is dysfunctional, it's like, well, what can we do to help you out?
Yeah.
And because they're young adults at the end of the day, and it's just
Well, we're all trying to navigate our emotions, and when we're not taught how to do that,
Yeah.
It does end up kind of turning into that. And sometimes attention is attention, whether it's positive or it's negative.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
sometimes we don't know. We don't.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And a lot of it's cultural. Like, I don't know, all of us can kind of relate, in this room. Growing up very strict and very different than everybody else around us. We're just like, we just want to be normal like the rest of, our
Exactly.
classmates. And we're not normal.
Or we want to have our classmates' problems, but
Yeah.
but no, we don't really want to have those problems. But they seemed like simpler problems.
Right. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it was better.
Yeah, no, that's a great resource to have and to know that it's available, especially to teens, because I feel like as teens, they feel stuck, like they don't have nowhere to go. Like they're not little kids anymore, so they don't. Parents don't pay attention to them as much, but they're also not old enough to make their own decisions. So they're like in this middle place where they just stuck.
When a lot of times they are forced to watch their younger siblings. And so after school, most people who have to work, they're not off work until 5. School gets out at 3. They're home by 4. There are there is that hour, 2 hours after school that they have their alone free time. But for some, yes, that's exactly the case. For others, that's not the case. They're getting the household ready for
Yeah.
sometimes chaos.
Yes.
When the family comes home. So
Yeah, and a lot of these kids as well, like they are put under a lot of pressure on needing to sometimes just be that grown up and be that
Right.
responsible person, especially if they have younger siblings. And because we get to see a lot of kiddos that have those families that are both working full-time jobs, and they're the main provider of taking care of their siblings, and they're the ones taking care of the house, they're the ones feeding, and they're the ones getting the kiddos ready for bed and everything. And a lot of the times when you look at them, they're kind of like, well, adults only see me as a kid. They don't, and it's like, well, I don't. I see you as somebody that's trying. You know, you needed to grow up sooner than you had to.
Right.
And it's just, what can we do to help them realize as well, just like, you are going through a tough situation, and what can we do to help you be able to regulate and to be able to help you with navigating through this tough time as well? Because that, you know, not every teen's going to know where the community food basket is, or where to get new shoes for their little brother or their sister. And what can we do to help you out throughout that time?
And I feel like kids have it so much harder than we did growing up. Like, yeah, we've all been through hard things, but I feel like this generation is growing up rough. Like,
Well, in social media and like everything that they see on the phone, it's like you have these grown-up things that these little kids are seeing because they're just sitting there watching it all day, and it's like, ugh, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. She shouldn't be doing that. You definitely shouldn't be doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah. To be able to qualify for this program, do you have to have like a certain income, or like what are the qualifications to be able to get help with you guys?
No, we get that question a lot, and our big thing is, if you need help, call us. That's our thing. We don't ask for proof of income. We don't ask for anything like that. It's just, if you are going through a crisis, give us a call and we will set up an appointment, and we'll have you meet with one of our family resource specialists. And throughout that time, it's, what can we do to help you out and make sure that this is a need that's easily obtained. And so we want to make sure that we avoid any obstacles throughout the way. And what we do is, when we do call out these resources to make a referral, we're the ones that are helping with setting up the appointments, and with asking the questions that some families may be too afraid to ask, because one big thing is shame. You know, we all go through it, and one of the big things I always tell everybody is that we're human at the end of the day. And you're not going to know everything. And with that shame, let me help you then. Let me be the one that, if it may sound like a dumb question, let me help you with get that figured out. And it's just, what can we do to just help these families out? Because when we get a family that comes in that has just been put through the ringer, it's like, you know, a lot of the times they just want somebody to listen. They just want somebody to not look at them and think, oh, this is a bad parent, or I'm a bad kid, and I've been told by many people that I'm not going to go anywhere. And it's just looking at them just like, you know, you're trying. At the end of the day, this is a tough world, and what can I do to help you out throughout this process? And so with us, it's just, if you need help, just give us a call, and we'll work our butts day and night to figure out what can we do to help you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you guys find that, is there a particular age group that you help more? Or do you feel like once they sort of join, they kind of do what you did, where it's just, they love it so much they end up staying and helping out themselves?
Right. I would say right now what we are seeing is a lot of 8 to 9-year-old kids needing help when it comes to mental health resources. Wow. Because there's a lack of it.
Definitely.
There's nothing for that age group. And then when it comes to our 15 to 16-year-olds, it's, well, what am I going to do for my future? Because I don't know, you know, a lot of things, it's just, I'm not confident to be able to go to college, or I don't know how to get a job, or it's just, I'm already been set for failure. And so
the world's like on their shoulders
shoulders
at the
at that
moment.
point,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then with our teen center, we see a lot of the 8th through 9th graders that come through our door. And with those guys, we pay close attention to all of our teens that come through our facility, and just seeing which kids did we notice in the beginning that were the quiet ones, and let's help them on feeling comfortable and help find their voices. And then we offer a leadership program for those teens during the summertime. And it's just, what can we do to help build that leadership quality and make them just this force to be reckoned with once they leave? And it's just trying to find what can we do, especially with the mental health crisis. And one big thing as well is we're seeing quite a bit of homelessness as well. Homelessness. What can we do to get these kiddos into a safe housing? And I'm pretty sure you guys hear it all the time is, what's the wait list looking like though?
Right.
Yeah.
And so there's not a whole, it's one of the big things of like, what can we do to help find something to get them connected to right away? But it's also been the biggest struggle that we see. And we always go with different community partners and just asking those questions of what can we do? And we ask different regions as well. We're very connected with all of our assessment centers throughout the state. And it's the same thing each time. It's, well, we're experiencing this crisis with homelessness or with runaways, as well as with drug charges, probation, diversion. And what are you guys doing to figure this out? And we're trying to like, okay, let's get connected with Ada County. What's Ada County doing when it comes to mental health? What's Bingham County figuring out when it comes to homelessness? And it's just what can we do?
I'm trying to think of how to word this. What is where it is so common of a struggle? Is there an area that seems to be progressing, like they have an idea of how to fix it, or does it seem to be just statewide impacted that we really do need more housing for these
crisis
these crisis situations?
Right. I would just say the biggest thing is funding.
Okay.
How can we get funding in order to set up these homes and apartment complexes to be able to help have an immediate place to put these families and these teens in, so that way we can immediately start figuring out how can we assist them in the other areas when it comes to like getting a job and then getting them set up with learning. Just for us, it's like the basic things, how to mail a letter. You'll be surprised on how many times these teens don't know how to do that.
Well,
I have to Google it all the time.
Something that we have been thinking about lately, I'm in the medical field, something that we've been thinking about is a lot of these kids don't know how to make their own appointments. They don't know how to schedule something for themselves. And that's something that's huge, because eventually you're kind of stuck in that limbo of, you want to kind of be grown and independent, but you also you don't know how to do basic. You're not exactly in some of the basic things.
I was
and
in
so
my 20s when my mom stopped helping me with setting appointments.
Yeah.
I'm 28 and I'm still
I
asking
was
her.
13 making my parents' appointments. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Right. And I think it's just, helping them with building that confidence and showing them that it can be an easy process once you go through that. We're going back to that shame piece of like, am I asking the wrong question? Am I not getting the right date right? It's those small
am I going to
things.
know the answer to the question that they're going to ask me? Because I think we still even feel that now,
right?
Often. You and I were just talking about that before coming in here.
Yeah, and just what can we do to just help them have that confidence and just kind of just show them that path of like, it can be easy, but we get that, you may need the assistance, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. It takes a village to help each other out, and Idaho Falls is it is a big community, but what can we do to just help our neighbors out on figuring something, whatever it could be, really,
Right. It's very unfortunate, the crisis, I think, that we're going through all over. Like, I don't think it's just low-income families. I feel like even the middle class were experiencing...
They're experiencing it.
Yeah. Well. Like, I do well for myself, with my business, and I struggle with my housing myself, and it's rough. It's hard that we're all experiencing that right now. We're in such a hard time at the moment that we don't know where it's going to lead us,
Right, because, life is very, things happen just out of the blue. Everything's unexpected. And especially when a crisis hits your home, and then it's just, well, how do I bounce back?
Right.
And who can I go to help me be grounded and to help me figure out what my next steps could be. And so when we see families that just lost their job, and right now it's back to school supplies.
Yeah.
I don't know why we need 30 glue sticks, but, hey, let's get you figured out with back to school supplies, or just the basic things of basic needs, food, clothing, and hygiene. And it's like, well, let's get you, set up and connected right away, because then that's a cost that you don't need to worry about. What can we do to help make you be able to transition back to where you were at, or to a place to where you feel confident enough to where you feel good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember, after, I think it was like 15, getting your first job, and then being so proud of yourself because you bought your own groceries and you bought your own utilities. I can't imagine the excitement that these teens and even young kiddos get when you help them with that. Because I know for me, I was like, heck yeah. So I can't imagine them being able to get to that point where they are confident and they're all like, well, look what I did today.
Right. And in a lot of the teens that we get to see, it's the best feeling in the world when we see these teens come to our teen center. And in the beginning, they were quiet. They didn't want to speak to nobody. And it was just very difficult for them to be able to break out of that shell.
It's probably shameful, too.
Yeah. And
asking for help.
And they feel pressure, especially with their parents. And a lot of the times, the parents are just they're worried. They just want to make sure that they build friendships and those connections. And I have a couple kiddos in my head that just pop up right away that I remember when they first walked in. Not a word to nobody, and then now it's like, hey Cedo, let me show you my new game that I just played last night, or let me tell you about my family trip, or this accomplishment that I did. And sometimes it might not be like they just got into college. It could just be
it's those milestones.
It's the milestone for them, and it's like, no, that's a victory, dude. Let's celebrate this. This is awesome. And and that's the part where it makes everything so worth it.
Yeah.
Is seeing that shift of this person would never come up to me and have a conversation. Now it's just chatterbox, and it's just amazing to be able to see that from the beginning and then now up to this point. We've had teens that were involved with our leadership program that never once would say a word, and when their parents would drop them off, we also during the summertime we do fireworks sales, and we help out with TNT. And we had one teen in particular that as soon as dad dropped him off, no word, panic attack right away. And now this kid could probably do his own business.
Aww.
He talks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, wow. He's able to sell you a firework that you probably came for a sparkler. You just spent $200 now because of this guy.
Wow.
And it's seeing that progress, and it's just kind of like, this was all you, dude. That was there. We knew that was there. You just needed help feeling comfortable.
That guide to that light. I love that because we get that a lot too. With the gals and the survivors that we get on our podcast, or even that just come and talk to us, being able to open up and talk about that pain and be able to look back and be like, I went through a lot of hard times, but look at me now, and they have a glow about them, and they're just so, we love it. I love hearing when people are like, I didn't think that I could heal in that kind of way, so I can't imagine the great victories that you get by actually seeing these teens grow.
Well, and you're getting them at such a vital age. I feel like if I had these resources as a child, wow, what I could have done, because as an adult, I think you're healing that trauma of all those past years. And so to be able to catch them at that pivotal point, hopefully you are breaking and getting them, giving them that spark, that hope that it does get better after this. Yeah,
and it's just being able to be a part of that journey.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest reward out of all of it, is you were, you want to make sure that this was all them. They did the hard work. They put in the effort. on becoming a better person. And I always take, like, you know, the young men that come with us, like all those boys, and it's like when I get to see them after a couple months, after seeing all the progress that they did with our leadership, or hearing from their families that will reach out to me and let me know, like, hey, so-and-so just went and decided to go volunteer at the soup kitchen.
Aww.
Or they went to Ronald McDonald House to go pass out flowers to everybody. And it's just seeing that piece of just like, it's, you know, it's so great to see these young men be just so awesome.
So respectful.
Just becoming respectful. And it's just somebody to where you look at them and you're just like, you know, I can't wait to see what
exactly.
you become.
No, exactly. That's,
I already see greatness.
So cool. That is so cool.
I have another question too. So, with your program, do you have to be referred to you, or can people reach out and get the help from you? Like when there's a crisis, obviously, you know, cops are called or counselors. Do you guys have counseling also? And yeah, like how do you guys come into like situations?
So, to make a referral, if you go onto our website at cyaidaho.org and you go onto our SPARC tab, there's going to be 3 options to make a referral. There's a law enforcement, a school referral, and as well as a community referral. And it's just basic information, just name, number, and what are some of the issues that are going on. You can also give us a call as well, or shoot us an email at spark@cyaidaho.org. And we will get back to you as soon as we can. And you can even walk in. We're located at 550 4th Street, Idaho Falls, Idaho. And with us, any family can, you know, they can come in, call, and be able to get in connected with. We are not licensed clinicians ourselves. We do have 2 social workers on staff. But with us, we mainly just offer a good peer support with us, or if they are needing that counseling with the partnerships that we've made with the different counseling offices here in town, we can just make a referral over, and because of that, they can be able to put them on that top priority list to get them in as soon as possible.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome. Do you guys have a crisis line for after hours?
If
the individuals can.
So with us, if I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but it is our office number. Okay. If you were to call our office number, you will be reached to our on-call staffs, and so we switch in between. And so if you're ever needing a Spanish speaker, I am the Spanish speaker on staff, and we always switch off between every week. And if you were to call that line, and you'll be presented with one of our family resource specialists, and they'll help guide you on either providing de-escalation over the phone or meeting you at our office, and we'll just meet you there as soon as possible.
I love that.
Yeah. Nice. Do a lot of like the law enforcement like know about you guys? Like, are they trained to refer people to you guys?
And we are doing our best with meeting with the SROs, the school resource officers, going to the different counties and giving them our information, but also giving them a rundown on who we are, what can we do, and what are the things that we can help out with. And, you know, there's always new officers that are coming into the job that may not know. And so we're always trying our best on giving a refresher. And we're trying our hardest on getting into those meetings with law enforcement and letting law enforcement know that we're here to help.
Yeah.
There is diversion, there's probation. But a lot of these kids, you know, they don't need to be put into that system.
Right.
A lot of the time, they just had a simple argument with their family and they don't need to be sent to 5C.
Yeah.
And what can we do to be able to just help with the prevention piece of it? And we try our hardest on making sure that we are communicating back and forth with law enforcement and as well with CPS. And when we do have a referral come in, just having that communication on what can we do to be able to help that family out.
I think that's super powerful, what you do and how you do it, and especially for the young age, 8, 9 and up, like that's such a vulnerable age, and that's where they're going to stick if they have the right proper guidance. I think that's super, super powerful.
It's just like an extra, you know, like push, for help, because like you said, there's CPS, there's law enforcement, but they don't always like have the time or right away. If like me, for example, I was a runaway, they just thought I'm just being rebellious and I need to be put on probation so I don't stop running away. But I wasn't violent. I wasn't into drugs. I wasn't getting in trouble anywhere else. It was just simply I needed to get away from my family. And so if I would have had like resources like this, I could have learned how to deal with them better, speak with them and or get the help in other places. Like you referred to other places where help would have been provided to me. Yeah.
No, it's just our law enforcement, our probation officers, and our CPS workers. They are, swamped.
Right.
Yeah. But what can we do to help them?
Yeah.
And what can we do to make sure these kiddos don't slip through the cracks?
Right.
And it took, and for me, it was one officer, Officer Pangale, back when I was in high school. He was the person that I always refer to the most on, he's the reason why I got into this kind of field and wanted to be able to help others, because he was the officer that I just always looked up to. He never once thought I couldn't do something. And he always gave me that confidence and that drive, and mainly just to be someone that's genuine to when we meet with the family.
Yeah.
It's not a, well, here's a resource, go
Right.
for it, tell me how it is. And it's just, no. Like, let's have a full conversation.
Yeah.
Did you not like them or did you like them?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like that because of this? Okay, let's get you set up with something else. Or, hey, Cedo, I need help when it comes to getting some food, but I'm having car troubles at the moment. Okay, tell me what time you need it dropped off at. It's just what can't.
Gosh, that's so cool.
It's
Just
like
to
going
have
the extra mile.
that extra hand.
Yeah.
It really is like having that extra
Yeah.
hand.
Especially in the families that are out in the more rural areas as well. It is, they have to plan out on coming to town, and there's no immediate resources right there at the moment. And so with us, it's, what can we do to be able to avoid any barriers? And a lot of the times it's transportation. Okay, well, we're going to meet you at your home. If you feel the most comfortable there, we'll meet you there. We'll have this, we'll do a screening. And then after this screening, we'll come back and forth and making sure that you're okay. We'll keep communication going. And from there, it's just, hey, we want you to feel comfortable and be able to have that vulnerability with us to where you feel that we are a safe place to go to. And it's just, let's build this relationship together let's get you connected. Yeah. Let's help you out during this time.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do too.
Yeah.
I catch myself and I'm smile as you're talking. I'm yeah.
So cool.
It's it literally takes me back, and I'm like, I wish I would have had this. Like, I remember being punished with community service, because that's the, I don't know,
That's the first, that's the minimum fines or
yeah,
whatever.
That's what you get for being bad, instead of looking into it and see what the actual issue was. And I remember I had 90 hours in community service, and that was the happiest 90 hours I had.
She's like,
yeah. I went to the District 7 and I cleaned every single window outside. And I loved every second of it. And then I was like, do you have anything else for me? They're like, well, you can clean the cars. I detailed cars. And they're like, you can move the cars from there to there. I was like, I don't even know how to turn on a car. So they're like, oh, never mind. Here, come do some toothbrushes. And I was like, this is the funnest I've ever had.
Right.
If somebody would have just paid attention and seen hey, she's not a bad kid.
Well, even in serving your community service, I feel like you got a little bit of joy in feeling that, I am helping them. I
think I honestly lied also. I told my mom, they need extra help. And so I need to stay this longer. And then I told them, hey, she can't pick me up, so I can stay and help. If you
see, you weren't a bad kid. You just needed something to do. You did not want to be home, and you needed something productive to do after
To
school
kinda give you a
to give
purpose.
you a purpose.
Yeah.
Man, can I relate to that?
How are, or what are the ways that we as a community, as a growing community, can help you guys and help your organization?
Just spread the word. Let people know that we're here and that we're here to make sure that we can help you get connected to all the needs that are needing to be met within your family. And what can we do to be a positive influence for your teens and be able to help build that voice and that confidence for them.
I love that because, like I said, you're that light for them as they're at their vulnerable stages, as they're growing up. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if there's more of you and what your organization does, I feel like
everyone should know about it.
Yeah. But I feel like in that situation, you won't have as many abusers.
Exactly.
That have all these excuses of, well,
no one was there for me.
Yeah.
No,
And so I feel like that is such a perfect thing that what you're doing, especially with these young men and even these females that are in your facility, to be able to see their value, see their worth, and know where their power comes from the inside. And I love that you teach it that way, that you're like, this is you. Like, you're doing all the work, you're doing all the power, this is all your confidence. We were just here to watch you do it. And I love that.
And I have to give credit to all of the women on our staff, especially for the young women that come through our doors, because I would say without them, I would be lost.
Yeah.
But they are amazing at being able to connect with them. And a lot of the times with our young women, it's just they want to talk about, going through the process of it all, growing up as a woman, and what are some of the trials and things that they're going to experience. And a lot of the times, I try to be there as best as I can, but there's just some things that I will never understand. And I, give props to the ladies that are with us that are able to help teach these women as well on just, you have support. You do. They just look at me as the funny guy at this point.
Sure.
Oh, I'm very happy to find out about this because I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I've heard the name, but I didn't know what it was about. So.
Yeah, we're trying our best on just getting out there. We're trying our best on going to the schools, doing as much networking as possible, and just getting our name out there for families. We do during the summertime. We just finished our last one, but we'll be back again during the summertime. We do community block parties where we were at Esquire, Central Park, and Kate Curley. And we just asked all of our community partners to just come and bring a booth and just pass out information. We served hot dogs. So cool. We had a bouncy house, all for free for these families. Just to, we went and hand delivered invitations because there's always it's kind of different when you get a hand delivered invitation versus a Facebook notification of here's an event going on in your area. And we have music, we have a bounce house, and just the different things that our community partners bring to the table and just making it a fun experience. And it's just, hey, we're out here. Or, ECAP is here, 1614's here. And and a lot of the times when they do come, it's oh, I needed to get connected to those guys. Yeah. This would have helped me a week ago, and it's well, hey, let's, I'll go with you and talk and introduce you. Let's get this going. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice. It is super, super nice.
How do you guys go about getting your funding? Is it through state, government, or just through donations? How can we also help spread the word on that?
That's a field that I'm not too familiar with, but with my director, Becky Leatham, we do get our funding through the state and as well as through government. But to answer fully, I'm not too sure exactly, but we do receive public donations as well from the community that come in, and we put that back into buying supplies for meals for the teens during when they come to our teen center, or for any supplies that we may need with SPARC, especially when we do get teens that come into our care. Sometimes they need a meal, it helps with buying ramen noodles, getting something in their stomachs to at least get them going by.
Yeah.
Remind me of the times, the after school hours. Like, what is your after school program hours again?
So for the Teen Center, we have we go from we have staff there at 3:30, and we get kids rolling around from 4:00, 4:30. But when we get there, we do from 4 to 5 is our free time. They get to come and hang out. We have a pool table, foosball table, and we have our staff going around and just starting conversations, building connections. From 5 to 6:30, they're in their club and they're just enjoying their time. We get volunteers that come in to teach different things. We had an amazing guy, Jason. He came and taught kickboxing. And we have an amazing lady as well. Her name is Susan. She came and taught them the basics of sewing, and from beginner to then expert, as well as with our painting. And we had somebody come in and teach ukulele as well. And then from...
What's a ukulele?
What's a ukulele?
It's a
little small guitar.
Yeah,
it's like a little tiny guitar. They're pretty popular.
Hawaii, right?
Yeah. In like Polynesian culture,
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Khalil had to take a ukulele class, and he had a concert at school. He freaking hated it. He just sat there and like pretended to string the strings. Yeah, he hated it.
And then at 6:30, we then take them right to their doorstep. We get them loaded up on our vans, and then we take them right to their doorstep. And so from 5 to 6:30, they're in the club. But it depends on the school what time they get out.
Yeah.
From each school district is different. Each school has a different time, but we start seeing kiddos roll in between 3:30 to 4 o'clock.
Awesome.
And they, if they're homeschooled, they can still come with us as well. If they're online schooled, they can still come with us as well. We don't really say no to nobody. And so everybody's always welcomed.
I love that.
Nice.
That's so awesome.
It is very awesome. We are very blessed and grateful that you were able to meet us this evening and tell us more about your organization and what it is that you do. And I think it's phenomenal.
Me too. I'm so excited to share this with everybody I know.
And I'm very glad and very thankful that you guys asked for me to come on here. And it's always great to just know who's all out there and just how can we just help each other out. We're in it for the same goal, which is let's help make this community, better for these families that are going through these tough times. Let's be the light in the dark for them.
Yeah.
Let's be that 1%. That 1% of just trying to make that little bit of an improvement to go that extra mile.
Definitely.
And it wasn't
For
scary
our
being on a
future.
podcast, right?
No, I was freaking out. I'm not gonna lie.
We were talking beforehand, and I told him, I was like, no, it's really open for. I was like, it's open for. I was like, it's really open form. He's like, what if I don't know the answer to the question? I was like, I also thought that when I came on here, am I going to be able to comfortably do this? But it really just kind of flows, and so
It's
far
just-
each one of them
It's
has
just like talking,
been like that, and it's
to
awesome.
each other, and except there's a camera in front of us. And
Yeah, but it's very welcoming though.
Yeah.
It just feels like more of a hangout. Like we just got off of
Yeah.
work. We're hanging out. We're just talking about our day.
Yeah.
And so very comfortable. I absolutely love it. You
Yeah.
guys are perfect.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm glad you came because I had to bug you a lot to come. So thank you so much.
Well, it was worth it.
I think probably at first it was just nerves.
Yeah.
I mean, you're representing at this point. You're representing a very beautiful organization, so that's really cool. But I would feel those nerves too. But I'm really glad you came.
You would think, you, especially with us, where we go to different partners and we're doing different presentations and meeting different people, and it's always that feeling of I'm about to give a presentation, and then once you actually do it, it's like, oh, I know.
I
what I'm
wasn't
doing.
doing that.
I know what I'm doing now. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Very true.
I'm super excited because Cedo just sent us his support video for Stop the Silence. So these guys will share it all because they're super good about that. So you'll see Cedo's cute face again.
Yay!
And then he's bringing materials
For
the ball
to hand out to us. I was hoping that you would.
Yay.
Yes.
We'll bring
So someone's going to bring
brochures and information.
brochures.
And the ball is coming up, and we're still looking for sponsors. So if anybody is listening and knows of anybody or is interested, please reach out
Let
to
us know.
Stop the Silence.
Or
Church.
just wants to go, just
Yeah.
If you just want to dress up, I think that's what I'm most excited about. I'm just super excited to go and be dressed up and then have all of the resources. Like, to be able to go in one place and have everything, all of the resources right there. Like, not only are you going to have a great time, but you're also going to be able to
And there will be food.
And there will be,
But SPARC's excited because Ceto's like, yeah, I gave them the invitation, and they were like, do we have to wear our work clothes? Or, like, can we dress up?
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, they're like, do we have to wear our uniforms? And I go, it's like, I asked, they said, no, this is the dress code. And they were like, I love it. I'm going to go dress shopping right now.
Love it. Oh, yay. That's so exciting.
So we're excited. We can't wait.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was
Thank you.
episode 16.
See you guys.
It Begins With Us is supporting podcast for 1614 Revival Foundation.
Please leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever possible. That really helps the show reach more people.
You can follow us on social media. The links are in the show notes. Do not hesitate to reach out. See you next time.